Here we are going to do configuration in CFC on DIGSI 4. For this SLD has one main bus and one transfer bus. The main bus is linked with the feeder through two isolator and one breaker, and transfer bus is linked with the feeder by one isolator is Q88, and we have one linear switch. These all have some interlock among them. We are going to see a few interlock in this configuration, and this is the logic sheet. According to this logic sheet, I am going to make a logic on the CFC chart. This is for breaker interlock, this is for Q8 interlocks, and this is for Q7 isolator interlock, this is for air switch interlocks, and this is for breaker close over TNC switch. This is for breaker close for TNC open. This all we are going to do on a CFC chart. Before going to the CFC chart, first we have to check what are the input you required for CFC chart should be configured over here. Near buffer we have a C over there. What are the input you need for CFC chart? You must configure here. And for CFC output, what are the CFC output? What are the things you need? You must have to configure over here. This source C you have to configure over here, then only it will give for output in CFC chart. Open the DIGSI file and click the settings. Over selecting function you can see CFC. When you double click the CFC chart will listed. If you want to add a new chart of your own configuration, you just right click over the chart and you will find the menu insert CFC chart. Click on the insert CFC chart and a new CFC chart will be open, and you can rename the chart by just go to the object properties, or you can double click the CFC. You can able to rename the chart. I am going to rename as logic. After renaming, you double click the chart, the configuration page will open. Over here there will be left section and right section will be there. Over left section it's for assigning input, right section is for assigning output. First I am going to take DMD code. For this DMD code we can see detailedly. In this CFC chart I was used DMD code. We are going to see about little thing how the DMD code is working. This DMD code is used for DP signals. DP is double point signal. It have a single line which can capable of getting two inputs at a time. In DP as configured two input. If the first input get configured, the DP code will activate as 10, and the output we get in first, that is off signal. If you get first input, the blocks consider it is a off. So here also in breaker also, if you get a input 1, the breaker will consider as a off, and if you get a second input, then our code will be 0 and 1, and we get the second input EIN, we get high as breaker on status. So this block also here on status. So this block is syncing 100% with this DP. So we are using this block in this logic, and this 2 is intermediate. Intermediate is nothing but if both input if you are not getting, then this intermediate will activate and it will give output. And the fourth one also is known as intermediate. This work if both input, if you get that the block value will be 111 and you get the final output over here. When you click on the input section, you will find interconnecting to address, text interconnect, object interconnect. You can click interconnect to address and you can check what the thing you need to select. I am going to configure here for Q89 interlock. According to sheet, the Q89 interlock as a breaker is in off, a Q89 can on. So I am going to take a input as breaker status. So when you connect, it automatically connect to the left seat, and I want to connect to the Q89 interlock for opening closing. So I right clicked over AUS. AUS is off status as we seen before. For that I am trying to select the Q89 interlock, but I am not able to see on right border. So I am going to check it in IO masking whether I was configured for output. I am checking in control. Input is not configured for output logic. We are not got in CFC, so I am configuring for output. After configuration, I just save this file, and after saving only we will get in CFC. After saving this, I close IO mask sheet and I open CFC chart again, and let me check if we got this input or not. Our logic sheet is open. I am going to right click over off status. I am going to interconnect, click on interconnect address. I am checking now. I can see the control device all interlocks, it came in output after configuration in IO mask. How this interlocks is working, because we configured in IO mask. If you see the property of interlock, check interlock is on, and release for closing, release for tripping, both opening and closing, this input should be activated high. When it get high, then only you can able to open or close the Q89. Like that we are configured. So this Q89 interlock is mapped with breaker off status in CFC chart. When the breaker is in off, automatically the Q89 will get high. In this Q89 is free to open and close. If the breaker is in on, then you will not get any output to Q89 interlock, since we are configured in AU. AU is for off status. So we are not able to, this interlock will block the Q89 opening and closing. And in order to easily understand in future, I am going to make a label over this logic. This logic I am going to make for Q89 interlocks. So whoever in future, if they open, they can easily understand this logic is for what purpose. nodes. It's very easy. Just click on which node it has to connect. Just one click and go to other one and click over there. It automatically it will link. If you think it's useful for your friends, you can share this video to all of your friends. Thank you for watching this video.